Hi everybody, this is Gayle. I wanted to show you something else. I know, well, I've just put it away. But you remember the last video that I did? We made this flower cane. Remember this flower cane? And it was made with a Skinner Blend plug. And I showed you two other plugs that I had that I wanted to do something with, and I think I'm going to do something with this purple one now, and I'm gonna do a little bit different. This is not going to be a flower as such. You could make it into a flower, but it's really kind of a cool cane to make and to use for beads. What did I do? I did something using one of these canes, and I don't remember what it was. It's probably something I gave away, because I give away a lot of things. But this is the plug I'm going to use, and if you look at this closely, this really isn't a plug. It's a big swirl. But it can function as a Skinner Blend plug, because it does go from dark to light. So this is going to be our Skinner Blend plug. And I also told you that I was going to be using my old IKAT clay, and that if you condition IKAT clay properly, it's not that difficult to condition. A lot of people don't, they say it's hard to condition or it crumbles when you put it in the pasta machine. But let me show you what I do, and you can tell. Let's see, which side is this? You can see some places on here, if I hold it that way. See those white places? Those are places that are a little bit dried out. And if I put this through the pasta machine now, even though it's fairly thin, it's maybe 3/8, no, a little over an eighth, maybe 3/16 of an inch thick. But if I put this in the pasta machine right now, because I can see that those little white places, which shows me it's dry, this would just crumble into crumbs. What Donna has said always, as far as her clay is concerned, is to cut your slice of clay off, lay it on a flat surface, and then just roll it with your acrylic roller. Now this, because it's so thick, I'm going to roll it a little bit more, but I'm going to make sure that my pasta machine is on the thickest setting. And I'm just going to roll this a couple times in each direction, but you'll notice when you roll, it changes from that dry, cracky looking clay into a pretty smooth, let me get my blade, a pretty smooth looking piece of clay. See how smooth and shiny that is? And that is the way you want it. And then you put it in your pasta machine. And let me put it in the pasta machine. And even though this is still a little bit dry, you can see at least it went through the pasta machine without breaking into pieces. And you would just continue to fold it. See, if right now it's cracking when I fold it, so you know it's still not conditioned. But you would do this a couple of times. Let me just do it a couple times. Which is getting it warmed up. Then I would move this down to the number 3 setting and run it through that way. You see, there's the number 3 setting, and you see that dry look is going away, and it's becoming more shiny and pliable. So I would continue rolling this through at the number 3 setting, just fold and run it through again, and I'll do it a couple of more times, but I will go off camera so you don't have to listen to it. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Now you can see here on my blade, see that black dry clay? That's what was on the clay before I put it in the pasta machine. And I only ran it through another maybe 4 or 5 times. But look how shiny and flexible it is now. So we know, and you fold it and pinch it and it doesn't crack. So you know that it's conditioned. But first off, before we add any of that, I'm going to take my plug. And again, this is old clay that has been sitting. This plug has probably been put together for at least 12 years. And it's not only Kato clay, it's the old formula Kato clay, which was even stiffer than the stuff that's out now. But I wanted you to see this. I need to get this moving, so because I need to reduce this, and that's going to mean warming it up on the inside as well as on the outside, because you want it all to be the same temperature. So I'll do different things. I'll run it between my hands. I'll run it on my work surface. I'll twist it to get the inside going. And it's got a few little marks on it, but that's not going to matter. But you just do different things until you can get the whole cane moving. And don't crack it like I just did. But you'll get the whole thing moving. Now, if you're using fresh clay or if you're using Primo clay, then you won't have this problem. This is just, it's because this is an old cane that I've had for a long time. And you see it's beginning to cave in the middle instead of being straight. That's because the inside of my cane is cooler than the outside of my cane. So let me see if I still have some cane ends in here that might fit this. This is a little bit too small, but I'll try them anyway. Let's see if I can prevent the ends from caving in. So I'm just going to keep working this until I can get the cane soft enough to stretch and pull. And I'm squeezing all around. I'm holding the ends with my fingers. But you could start reducing it this way because the outside is warm and it's ready to start moving. It's the inside that's not moving yet. But just keep pressing in the center. And like I say, if you've got fresh clay, you won't have this problem. But I just wanted you to see that even with old clay, you can still use it if you prepare it correctly. And while I'm doing this, I wanted to tell you something. In a previous video, I announced that I'm getting close. I'm over, it's like 1,675 subscribers. And I've been in touch with the Sculpey people who make Primo and also the Sculpey tools and everything. And I'm really excited because I told them that I was hoping to have a giveaway when I reach 2,000 subscribers, and they have agreed to send me a gift package. I don't know what's going to be in it yet. I'll do a video and show you when that happens, but they're going to send me an assortment of their tools, I think they said, to use in my giveaway. So I'm really excited about that I will have something. And since a lot of you are new clayers, you probably could use some of these tools. This isn't going to stay, I don't think. You could probably use some of these tools that you might not otherwise buy. So I'm real anxious to see what they send. I don't know when they'll get here. And I don't know how I'm going to do the giveaway. Excuse me while I ramble, but I need to do something while I'm reducing this cane. I've thought about doing like something on a point system where if you do this thing, you would earn a point. If you do this thing, you would earn a point. And, you know, if you do something else, you would earn 2 points. And then each one of those points would be a chance that your name, you know, when your name would go in. Like if you earned 10 points, your name would go in the drawing 10 times. And the reason I thought about doing that is so that way, I think this is getting conditioned now. That way, I'm not just throwing everybody's name in a hat and somebody that's only watched 2 of my videos gets just as many chances as somebody that's faithful and watches all of my videos. So I'm thinking about doing something on a point system. And I might ask your opinion later on as I get closer to find out your ideas on it. But I've got a few ideas. But I was just so excited. I was doing another video, the one on my flower cane, and mentioned that I was getting close to 2,000 subscribers. I'd be at 2,000 in no time. And that I would have to plan a giveaway. And then went back to my computer to upload the video, and lo and behold, Sculpey had contacted me and said they would send me a prize package. So I'm real anxious. When it gets here, I will do a video like an opening so that everybody can see what's in the package. I'll not open it until I get on video, just so you can show that you can see that I'm not going to keep anything from myself, unless sometimes they'll send something extra for the person doing a giveaway. I don't know. It's been a lot of years since I've worked with the Sculpey people. I used to deal with Iris Wise a lot when I was in the Orlando Guild and when I was on the National Polymer Clay Guild Board of Directors. We used to deal with Iris a lot, and I kind of got away from that. And you know, so this was the first time in several years that I've contacted them. The newer people that are kind of in control right now don't even know me, so they have no idea who I am or that I used to be on the board or anything, which is okay. They don't need to know that. Let me wipe off the gray from my tile. But see how this is beginning to move and stretch? And like I say, if you're using Primo, it won't take this long. Actually, if you're using fresh Kato, it won't take this long. It only took this long because of the number of years that this has been sitting. So I'm going to cut this now. Let me go in far enough to get rid of my funky ends. I think that's good enough. Let me see how long this is. What did I do with my ruler I had out? Here it is. So this is now almost 9 inches long. Let me just stretch it out a little bit more and see if I can't get it to 9 inches. There we go. And let me think. I think I will cut this. It only makes sense to cut it into 3-inch pieces, but I want more than 3 pieces. So 9 inches, let me cut it at 4.5, which is in half. And then I'll cut the 4.5 at 2 1/4. And I'll put this here just to get one the same size. So there, we have 4 of these. And you see, as I roll this, there is a lighter purple and then the darker purple. I'm going to put the darker purple on the top. Alright, and you see that I have rolled out some white clay, and this is at a number 3. I'm going to cut a strip, maybe, I don't know, however wide that is. Was that about 3/4 of an inch? And I'll cut 4 of them, about the length of the cane. This is going to be so neat. I love this look that you'll see when you get to the end. But I'm just going to lay this across the top of this one and let it hug the dark purple. And I'll do the same thing here, just let it hug. You see that little piece of pink on there? I used to spend a lot of time cleaning all those little smidgens off of my white clay, or any clay that had gotten another color on it. And when I went to Donna Cato's, my first Donna Cato workshop, and we learned to make the feather cane, one of the things she said then is to stop worrying about the little flecks that's on your clay, because you're cutting this way. So if you've got this little pink place and you're slicing down this way, it's only going to be a very smidgen. You're not even going to see it. So I quit worrying about it, and you know what? It hasn't been a mess at all. It's worked out really well. But I'm going to trim these up on each end to make sure they don't overlap. That was on both ends, kind of overlapping a little bit. Now, where I've got the white, I'm going to put the white up, and now I'm going to put a little, well, actually this is still on a number 3. I think I'm going to take this down to a number 5. My black. Let me run this through on a number 5. Because I don't want this to be as thick as the white. And I'm going to also cut this in little strips. Let me see. Let me go out so you can see what I'm doing, because I am kind of at the end of my work area. But I'm going to cut the same thing, a strip of black, and I'm going to put that over top of the white. And just let it follow. And because I was stretching it as I was putting it on, it's also going to need to be trimmed off at the other end. But that's all right. You just want to get this black over the white. Now you can see the black isn't totally covering the white, but you know, maybe I should do that, but I'm going to fix that in a minute. It's really not necessary to do what I want to do. But let me cover that. And then I've got one more. Okay. Now remember what we did on the, actually I probably should have done that on this one and I didn't do it. Anyway, remember on the other cane, the flower cane, since I didn't do this that way, let me just mash this a little bit because my clay is pretty firm. I'm going to mash each one of these with the black on the bottom so we can put these together. We'll just have to, and they'll change, you know, each one as you do that, they'll stretch a little bit, so that's okay. But just make sure your black is on the bottom and pinch these so you can put them together. And every time you get another one, just add it to your pile. And you're going to see this is going to make a really neat cane. So there, so I've got all four pressed together. And you can look at it. This is the end, so it's not going to be very pretty. But you'll see how the black is going up a little bit, the white's going up a little bit. So let's just keep mashing and stretching and pulling and mashing. You can twist a little bit. Just to stretch it out a little bit so we have some cane to work with. Because what we're going to do is cut this in half. Okay, so that's a, I'll tell you, I'll cut off the ends because the ends do get a little funky, and that'll give me a more accurate, I'll just keep that there so you can see what it's supposed to look like. So now we've got 3 inches, so I'll cut this at 1.5 inches. And I'm going to put these together. Let's see, maybe it would go better this way together since these two sides are flatter. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to mash and push these together. If you want to set it up on its end and push down, you can do that. Just whatever it takes to get them mashed together. Of course, if you have a softer clay, it's not going to be as hard as it is with the Kato, but again, I love this clay. I guess I better start pushing Primo clay since that's what they sell at Tupelo Designs LLC, which is where I'm a guest designer. They call them guest designers for 2 months, and if they feel like that we're a good fit, then we become an actual design team member. So we'll see. Hopefully they'll want me back after 2 months. It would help if y'all shopped at Tupelo, because I think that's probably how they see how well the designs the guest designers are doing, is whether they're getting any sales on those items. And this is not a Tupelo video, design team video, because I'm using the Kato. But I would like to keep working with them. It's been a good experience so far, and I have gotten them to carry polymer clay, which they were not carrying. They only had like a few colors of clay when I first started. Now they are carrying the full line of Primo and some Fimo Professional, which is really good that they've decided to carry clay. But they did it because of me. When they found out I was going to be on the design team, and that I was a polymer clay artist, they were very anxious to have me on the team and to help them get their inventory straight. So if there's something that they don't carry, especially if it's made by Primo or Sculpey, any polyform product, let me know and I will pass the word along and see if they can't carry it. Now I could go further with this. I could do this again, pull it out and cut it in half and put it beside it and squeeze it again, but I think I'm going to stop here just so I can show you what a cool cane this makes. Now I'm going to cut this in half, but this time, instead of putting the ends together, I'm going to put the black together. And look at that cane. That, I think, to me, makes an awesome cane, and it would make an awesome bead. Let me take some scrap, and if you're making beads, you can use the scrap from the colors that you're using, and that way, you know, the scrap pieces, that way if a little bit of it shows through after you put the cane on it, it doesn't matter because all the colors kind of blend together. Rather than making a round bead, I don't use a lot of round beads. A lot of people do. I don't use a lot of round beads. So I'm just going to flatten this out a little bit. But I want you to see what a cool looking bead this makes. Look at that. I just love, that's just so neat. And you can use so many different colors. But, well, maybe I will make it round because I think you'll get more of the benefit of this design if you see it round. But if you take a piece of clay and make it round and put that black across the middle of it, and you need another slice on this side, but then push this up and push that down. And so you can reduce this if you wanted. You know, you can press it this way so that it spreads out a little bit more and it's not so tall, which is probably what I should have done. But just to show you what a round bead would look like with this, I'm only going to do this half. But look at that. Does that make a neat looking bead or what? Just imagine a whole necklace of these beads side by side, and maybe take the purple and make little accent beads, or you could use white for accent beads, or the black. You could use all three and then put those beads in between. But look at that. Is that not neat? So this is another cane. I don't even have a name for this. I've seen different people call them different things. There are people that make canes similar to this and they have their own names. So maybe that'll be part of my contest. Let y'all submit names for this cane. But anyway, this is just something that I think is really cool. And this will go into my Patreon stack. I am running into a problem, not with Patreon, but with me. Those of you, I promise those of you that contributed $5 a month would get a piece of a cane that I made during that month or the previous month. The only problem is some of my patrons are in other countries, and as I found out this last time, it's really expensive to ship something, you know, like a package to another country. A flat envelope, like a letter, I can do with no problem. It still isn't cheap, but it's not like that. But it's really expensive to ship canes, even if I make a thin slice, which is probably not very usable to most people. it still cost a lot to ship them overseas. So I may have to come up with a different plan for my $5 contributors, because it's probably, for $5, it's costing me at least that much to mail the package, so it's really, I'm getting no benefit from it. So we're going to have to come up with something else. But I just wanted to show you this cane. It's so much fun, and you can use different colors. I like the black in the middle regardless of what colors you use, but I think it would be pretty if you used maybe, instead of the white, put maybe a bright yellow, and then maybe up here be orange, and then it would look sort of like a sunset. Because if you look at that, if you use your imagination, it could be a lake and mountains with the reflection in the lake, and then the sky. So, I mean, you can do all kinds of things, but this is just a cane that I've been wanting to make for a long time, and I made one a long time ago and used it all, and I'm trying to remember what I used it on so I could show you, but I really can't remember right now. But anyway, I will have to think about my $5 contributors. My $10 a month contributors on Patreon get a private tutorial, and in the one they got from my, all right, let me back up a little. Patreon charges on the 1st of the month. Everybody that pledges, their money doesn't get charged to them until the 1st of the month. So my first support came on September the 1st after everybody was charged. And so when I say my September award, it's really for August, the people that signed up in August. But as long as they contribute, as long as anybody contributes to my Patreon, to my support, to support my channel, I'm going to still give, excuse me, a video after the 1st of the next month. And I've already got plans for the next video, but I haven't started yet. It's going to be another long one, so it'll probably be in parts. But I'm going to be gone on vacation. I'll be at the beach when this video comes out. So if I don't answer your questions or your comments, it's because I may not have internet access. It's hit and miss down there. Sometimes it works great, and other times you can't do anything. But this is another cane that I thought y'all would enjoy, and I will try to think of a name. Don't know. Anyway, thanks again. I appreciate your support, and I appreciate you watching, and I will be back with you soon. Bye.